Okay, my dear students, so with the help of this presentation, so we are going to talk about project evaluation techniques. And I have already sent some Word documents and also the PowerPoint presentations related to these topics. I believe so that at least short copy of these items are with you. And so with that, my dear students, so we are going to continue with these particular presentations. Particular presentations are related to the project evaluations. Okay, my dear students, first of all, so we need to identify what is the project before identifying what are the available project evaluations technique. It is very important to identify what is a project, and then we can talk about what are the project evaluations techniques available, and how we can apply that project evaluations techniques to evaluate the projects. Okay, my dear students, I'll move to the first slides of the presentation, so then we can identify what is the project. Okay, go there and try to identify what is the projects. Actually speaking, so my dear students, simply you can say project is the long-term investments opportunity. What is the project? What is the project? According to the information given here, that is a long-term investments opportunity. I'm talking about this point. Look at it. I'm talking about this point, my dear students. This is the point I'm talking about, right? Project is a long-term investments opportunity. If someone asks what is the project, so you can simply say it's a long-term investments opportunity, right? It is a long-term investments opportunity. Then, my dear students, we are going to identify what are the examples that we can give for the long-term investments opportunity. Okay, what are the examples that we can give for the long-term investments opportunity? Few examples are being given here. Okay, look at it. Examples. These are the examples in this presentation. It's been given. Okay. Building house, developments of road networks, developments of bridges, purchase machines, developments of softwares. In addition, so we can say deposits in fixed deposit accounts. So there are so many examples that can be given for the long-term investments opportunity. There are so many examples that can be given for the long-term investments opportunity. Therefore, what is the project? Project is a long-term investments opportunity. Project is a long-term investments opportunity. It's not a short-term one, it's a long-term investments opportunity. Almost all the long-term investments opportunity can be identified as projects. So what are the examples? And also we need to identify a few examples related to the projects. What are the examples that we can identify? Building houses, developments of road networks, and also the developments of bridges, purchase machines, and also the developments of software. In addition, deposits of money in the fixed deposit accounts, right? These are the examples that we can identify related to the projects. Now we have kind of the understanding of what is the project. That is a long-term investments opportunity. Okay, my dear students. Then we need to identify if we need to recognize this long-term investments opportunity as a project, right? If we need to recognize this long-term investments opportunity as a project, right? As a project, it should satisfy some features. It should satisfy some features. Actually speaking, there are three different features should be satisfied this particular investments opportunity, long-term investments opportunity to recognize as projects, right? That's it. If we need to recognize long-term investments opportunity as a project, that particular long-term investments opportunity should satisfy three different features. If so, we can identify that one as projects. Okay, my dear students, so what are the features that we can recognize are related to the long-term investments opportunity? What are the features that we can recognize in the long-term investments opportunity? These are the features, my dear students, right? Look at what are the features. The first one, this is relatively higher amount of cash outflow, right? Relatively higher amount of cash outflow. Just go through the list and then we can talk with examples, right? Then returns are runs over the period of times and uncertainty of the returns. Okay, my dear students, what are the features? Initially, we have to incur huge amount of cash outflow. Cash outflow means cash going out from us. If we need to acquire that investments opportunity, we have to make some expense. I mean that we have to invest the money. Invest the money means money going out from us. Right? Second one, returns generates over the period of times. If it is a long-term investments opportunity, my dear students, it's a useful lives maybe more than, rather, it's a definitely be more than 1 year period of time. So suppose it's a 10-year investments, right? 10-year investments. If so, returns or the profits of this particular investments opportunity being generated over the period of 10 years. Over the period of 10 years, suppose our investments opportunity has a useful life of or maturity period of 10 years. If so, this particular investments opportunity generates returns or profits over the period of 10 years, over the period of 10 years. Here, return means profit, right? Then uncertainty of the returns. We have kind of the doubts whether we can take these profits or returns over the period of 10 years. Over the period of 10 years. Suppose our investments maturity period is 10 years. If so, the particular investments opportunity should generate a return over the period of 10 years. But we have kind of the doubt whether we have received these investments over the period of 10 years. Over the period of 10 years. It's a kind of the problem, right? These are the features that we can recognize are related to the long-term investments opportunity. If so, if these features been satisfied, this long-term investments opportunity, we can identify this one as projects. Okay, my dear students, and look at what are the features again, right? What are the features again? These are the features. These are the features, my dear students. Right. First one, higher amount of cash outflow. Second one, return generates over the period of time. So third one, uncertainty of the returns. We have kind of the doubts whether we receive the returns or the period of its useful life. That's what we call uncertainty. Okay, my dear students, so we're going to discuss these features with some examples, with some practical examples. Okay, my dear students, suppose you are going to deposit 500,000 rupees. You're going to deposit 500,000 rupees in fixed deposit accounts, which is available in well-known financial company in Sri Lanka, right? The fixed deposit accounts is offered by well-known financial company in Sri Lanka. We are going to invest 500,000 rupees in that fixed deposit account. Fixed deposit accounts maturity period is 5 years, right? Fixed deposit account maturity period is 5 years. Now what's happened? First, look at first feature related to that long-term investment opportunity. Relatively high amount of cash outflow. Yes, when you are going to invest 500,000 rupees in a fixed deposit account, that's a little bit of a huge amount, right? 500,000 rupees. We have to invest that money in the fixed deposit accounts. If so, money going out from us, right? Initially, it's a very huge amount of cash outflow, right? It is initially, it's a very huge amount of cash outflow, right? First quality or the first feature being satisfied with that particular investments opportunity, right? Then it's I'm talking about the second feature, returns are generated over the period of time. So what's the returns of these fixed deposits? What is the return of this fixed deposit? That is the interest, right? That is the interest. Maturity period or useful life of this fixed deposit account, as we said earlier, that's a 5 year, because these fixed deposit accounts mature after the period of 5 years, after the period of 5 years, which means that this fixed deposit accounts generates returns at the end of the first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and the fifth year, which means that fixed deposit accounts generates interest at the end of each and every year after the period of maturity, So return generates over the period of time. Second quality also being satisfied. Now the uncertainty of the returns. Okay, my dear students, right? After 3 year period of time, so suppose this financial company been vanished, or suppose this financial company has kind of the problems and they have to face kind of the problems, and therefore they have to stop their business operations. Can you receive interest for the period of for the fourth year and also for the fifth year? Can you receive return if the business operations of the financial company being stopped because of some reasons, right? At the end of the third year, can you receive interest incomes for this particular investment opportunity at the end of the fourth year and the fifth year? No, you can't. You can't because the business operations have been stopped. Business operations have been stopped and your business organizations have been liquidated. Can you take the returns? Can you take the returns for the fourth year and also the fifth year, or after the business operations have been stopped by that particular organization? So we are not in a position, sir, to take the returns. take the returns or take the interest incomes from that particular investment opportunity because business is being closed. Because business is being closed. And so therefore, my dear students, we have a kind of the doubt when you're going to invest the money. We have kind of the doubt whether we can take the returns over the period of its useful life. Over the period of its useful life. So we have kind of the uncertainty. We have the kind of the uncertainty because there are so many practical experiences these days, right? Well-known financial companies being stops their business operations due to the operational problems. Due to some operational problems, they do not have resources to continue their operations. So what happens to the depositor? Depositor is in the problems. Depositor is in the problems, and so they are asking their deposits money and also the returns. And financial company is not going to pay that particular returns and also the principal's amounts because they are not in a position to do that one. Now, what happens to the investors? They have in the big problems. They have in the big problems. So therefore, we have to remember, well, when we are going to invest in the investments opportunity, we have to face the risk because we don't know. Always the returns coming in the future periods, right? Returns coming in the future period. But in the future, actually speaking, so we can't guess what happens in the future. With that uncertainty in the mind, with that doubt in the mind, we have to still invest in the investments opportunity with the idea of earning some things, right? With the idea of earning something, so with the idea of earning some returns or profits, we have to invest. But when we are going to invest, we have to always remember, or we have to always keep in our mind, we have to face kind of uncertainty regarding these returns. Uncertainty means we have a doubt whether we can take the returns at the end of the each and every year or at the end of the period. At the end of the period, so because we are not in a position to guess or estimate what happens in the future. What's happened in the future? That is what we call uncertainty of returns, right? That is what we call uncertainty of the returns. Okay, my dear students. Okay, so we are going to recap or we are going to summarize what we have discussed about what we have discussed with this particular slides. Okay, what we are going to discuss or what we have discussed of this particular slides, I'm going to summarize it. Okay, my dear students. So what's the things we are going to discuss through this particular slides? That is, what is the project, right? What is the project? Simply, we can say project is the long-term investments opportunity. Project is a long-term investments opportunity. Okay, my dear students, project is a long-term investments opportunity. I'm talking about this point, right? Long-term investments opportunity. Then we have to produce some examples for this long-term investments opportunity. Okay, my dear students, what are the examples that you can give for the long-term investments opportunity? That's building house, developments of road networks, development of bridges, purchase machines, and development of software networks. In addition, so we can say opens fixed deposit accounts which mature after 1 year period of time, so something like that. Okay, in addition, so this long-term investments opportunity, if you're going to identify long-term investments opportunity as a project, that particular long-term investments opportunity should satisfy three different features. What are the features? First one is higher amounts of cash outflow at the beginning of the investments, right? Second one, the returns from this particular investments opportunity generates over the period of its useful lives. It's more than 1 year period of time. Then the uncertainty. Uncertainty means that returns always comes in the future, right? Returns always comes in the future from the investments opportunity, but we are in a kind of the doubt. Whether we can take the returns, whether we can take these returns in the future. And so therefore, these are the features of the long-term investments opportunity. If there is a long-term investments opportunity with these three features, that is what we call projects, right? What is the project? Project is a long-term investments opportunity with these features. What are the features again? High amount of cash outflow. Second one, return generates over the period of times, and also uncertainty of the returns. Okay, my dear students, and now you have kind of the understanding regarding the projects, right? I believe so that now you have kind of the understanding regarding the projects. Okay, we move to the next slides and look at what we have. Okay, my dear students, so why it is important to evaluate the long-term investments opportunity? Actually speaking, so my dear students, long-term investments opportunity should be evaluated because of it has three features that we have discussed early slides, that we have discussed in the previous slides, right? That we have discussed in the previous slides. Long-term investments opportunity should be evaluated. Why we need to evaluate this long-term investments opportunity? That has to be evaluated because it has features that we have discussed in the previous slides, because we have to invest huge amount of money, and also from that particular investments, return generates over the period of time, so not at once. Return generates so many times during the period of its useful life, and also these returns be generated in the future period. So we are not in a position to guess what happened in the future period. We are not in a position to estimate what's happened in the future period. Therefore, we have kind of the doubt. We have kind of the doubt whether we receive this, what you call, whether we receive these returns in the future periods. That is what we call risk. And so therefore we have to evaluate the projects before make the investments decisions. Before make the investments decisions, or before making the investment decisions, we have to evaluate the long-term investments opportunity. Why we need to evaluate the long-term investments opportunity? It has to be evaluated. It has to be evaluated because of these features. What are the features? At the beginning, so we have to invest huge amount of money. Second one, returns of these particular projects being generated over the period of time. Third one, risk attached with the return. Risk means we are in the doubtful situations whether we can take the returns in the future period or not, right? Whether we can take the returns in the future period or not. We have kind of the doubt. We have kind of the doubt whether we can take the return. That is what we call risk, right? Why we need to evaluate the projects? Project has to be evaluated because we have to incur higher amount of cash outflow. Second one, the returns of the projects are being generated over the period of its useful life. Third one, the risk attached with the return. Risk attached with the returns, right? Because of these features, we need to evaluate the long-term investments opportunity of projects, right? These evaluations has to be done before making the decision of investments of particular projects, right? This has to be done before making the decisions, right? Before making the decisions on investments in a particular project, right? We should not evaluate the projects after making investments, right? It has to be evaluated before making the investments, right? It has to be evaluated before making the investments in the particular projects. Okay, my dear students, right? Okay, my dear students, and I don't believe that you have any kind of problems related to these slides. Again, why we need to evaluate the project? Project has to be evaluated. Project has to be evaluated. It has these features. What are the features? High amount of cash outflow at the beginning. Then the returns of the projects are being generated over the period of times, and also the third one, risk attached with the returns. Risk attached with the returns. When we are going to evaluate the projects, project should be evaluated. Project should be evaluated before making investments decisions in the particular projects, right? Okay. Go to the next slide. Responsibility of project appraisals. Project appraisals means also project evaluations. Project appraisal means also project evaluations. Okay, my dear students, so look at it. Management should take the responsibility. Management should take the responsibility of evaluating projects. So that is not a duty of the accountant, right? That is not a duty of the accountant. Managements of the organizations should take the responsibility of evaluating projects, right? Managements of the organization should take the responsibility of evaluating projects. Okay, my dear students, then what is accountant's duty? How accountant can involve with this particular process on project appraisals, right? How accountants can involve with project appraisals. So what is accountant's duty? Accountants need to provide every necessary information for the management to evaluate the project, right? Responsibility goes to the management. Accountants should provide all necessary information to evaluate the projects. Okay. Initials are part of the project evaluation is over. And so then we are going to talk about what are the techniques available to evaluate the projects and how we can use that techniques to evaluate the project. Discuss about what we call how we can use the project evaluations techniques and what are the available project evaluations techniques, how we can use that techniques to evaluate the projects. Okay,